don't see.
I don't see it.
I'll see it.
Oh no, I don't
I
think
see
we
it.
are. Are we live? Oh, we're live. We're live. I'm like listening to us now. But
Eh,
there's no video. There's no video yet. It just shows there's audio.
Just to build up the anticipation.
I am crying. Yeah, yeah,
Here we
yeah,
are.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Ah,
Friday.
Hello.
Hi.
Friday. How are y'all?
It's us.
It's us here on a
Mm-hmm.
Friday.
On a Friday.
On a Friday.
On a Friday. You know, there's like a certain like generation of people where they say like Friday and like Tuesday and,
Not a
and
certain
like
generation of
orange and
people.
That's my mom. She says Saturday. Saturday.
where did all the letters go?
I've been trying to figure that out my entire life.
She's like, we don't need those letters. Get rid of them. Saturday.
Saturday. It's a Saturday.
Saturday.
Hi everyone. It's me hosting. And welcome to your favorite way to end the week. It is the Untitled Lady Show. And we're starting it off with a meme of the week. And Fred,
Meme of the week.
you had a meme of the week you wanted to share.
Yeah. We're jumping in hot. Okay.
We're jumping in hot.
Yes.
It's a show that I'm streaming. There's not any structure. It's chaotic.
we you know what? Sometimes you kind of need the mess. Sometimes you just we'll just be bless this mess.
Oh, well, really quickly before we get started, Jen and Kristin aren't joining us this week.
Mm-hmm. Oh
yeah, they're cranking out videos and taking a little break.
Yes. So yes, they're taking a little break, a little much needed reset. So it's just the three of us. So welcome to our party of three. Now I'm going to jump into tweet of the week. This was my tweet that I liked this week. I had a really good time seeing everyone's like Spotify Wraps and Apple Music replays. Really not Apple Music replays, because this is what I just think they look dry compared to the Spotify Wraps.
Dry is such a funny description of like a graphic.
Yes.
No,
so
you're like, that graphic is pasty.
Yes. So this is the tweet that really sort of represents how I feel about Apple Music Replay versus Spotify Wrapped. I just think that the Spotify Wrapped just looks way sexier, and the Apple Music Replays just look like, they're like trying to follow suit. They're like, oh man, we got to catch up. We got to jump on the bandwagon, and like they scrambled at the last minute and did like a really dry ass job. So,
well,
that is a little bit so funny.
Keep going, but tell me a little bit about what was on your list, your Spotify Wrapped.
Oh yeah, so my Spotify Wrapped was kind of a little embarrassing. So my most played song of the year is Tootsie Slide by Drake, which is like unexpected. The Drake part is expected, not the Tootsie Slide part. I did not realize that I ran that song into the ground. Apparently. And then, so it was a lot of, like, my top artists were Drake, Beyonce, Jhené Aiko, Ariana Grande, and then, who was the last person? Summer Walker.
Okay.
What were on your Spotify Wraps?
Mine was fucked up a little bit, I have to admit, because I've been listening.
That's what everyone says.
Okay, but to be fair, and
everyone's like, my top one really wasn't Taylor Swift. It just did that. I accidentally left it on repeat.
It wasn't. It wasn't. No, it wasn't. Because we've been working at home, I've been playing cool beats, like lo-fi beats, this entire in the background, and I kind of feel like one of our old managers who would like be like, hey, does anyone want to like listen to some cool beats right now? And so that's why I haven't posted that because I just don't want to be like that old manager of ours. You know which one I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Drop into
Some
the
chill
Slack.
beats.
Some chill beats. That's what he would say. He'd be like, "Does anyone mind if
Yeah.
I listen to some chill beats right now?" Like we play it, and they're like, gross. So I'm a little embarrassed about that.
What about you, Chantel?
Look, there's nothing wrong with a little lo-fi beat.
Lo-fi
My so my top played song of 2020 is one of the songs that people would be like, this is not true. I accidentally left it on repeat. But for me, I'm like, it's 100% true. I fucking love this song. It is The Bones featuring by Maren Morris featuring Hosier.
Oh, Hosier. I don't know if I've had, is this a popular song?
Yeah, it's like, it was
I'm sure
like
I've heard it then. I know Hosier. Who is Bones?
Hosier.
Wait, Bones is the name of the song.
The Bones is the name of the song.
Who is Bones?
I literally know nothing
The
about.
song is called Hosier, okay?
The song is called Hosier. It's by Bones.
Yeah, the song is called The Bones, and it's by a country singer named Maren Morris. She was also the person that sang on The Middle, that song, the baby.
Oh yeah,
She was on that
God.
one.
Oh, wow.
Mhm. So
Oh, yeah.
she did this song. It's called The Bones, and then there's a version of it that's featuring Hosier. It is far superior.
We've missed
I'm back with
so
like
much.
I feel like the three of us, it's like quiet chaos.
Yeah.
It's like wavy chaos.
Yeah.
Where we're like
Wavy chaos.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, so that was my top song. It was 100% me. I absolutely listened to that on repeat all day, every day. It's one of those, it's a pop goodie, you know?
It's a good.
I love a good pop goodie.
Yeah, it's a pop goodie.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then another one of my top songs is this instrumental song called The Light by the album Leaf, which is like, that's very just like happy, sad Chantel, which is like most of the time.
Wait, do you listen to instrumentals like when you're working, or like do you like meditate to it? Like what is the
Yeah, so I like listening to instrumentals when I'm like writing, and then like this particular song, if anyone's familiar with the show Scandal, okay, the show Scandal, another Shonda Rhimes classic, okay, and so there's the two main characters on Scandal, Olivia Pope, played by the incomparable Kerry Washington, and then Fitz, played by, I have no idea what his name is, but it's like their love song theme, but it's just a song that they like picked to be their love song theme. But yeah, and so it's one of those songs where it's like you listen to it and you're like, God, it's so beautiful, and it feels so just like whimsical, but there's also like a weight to it, and so you're like, oh, this is also like ripping my heart out. I'm like, that's my favorite tone for everything. I'm like, you can make me happy, but rip my heart out first. That's my favorite tone of any content.
Somebody said in the chat that they fucking love the album Leaf, so you have fans.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Me and that one person are but yeah, right. So they have good, I'm trying to keep up with the chat on my phone, but I'm just like not doing it at all. But thanks for loving the album Leaf, Dante. All right.
All right.
Okay, what's next?
We're gonna transition to Shanti's tweet.
Yes, so mine is a meme. I should pull it up on my phone so I can like look at it because it is very funny.
When you texted
basically,
this
I'm
to
like
me today, I like spit out my coffee. It was too good. I was like, oh, it's perfect. Oh, so Chantel?
Yeah, I'm like, this meme, I could have written this meme about myself and also just replace the picture with a picture of me. So it's me singing Certified Freak 7 days a week, also me by 7 p.m. every night. And then it's this little dog in a hoodie in like a bed.
It's a perfect meme. It's a perfect
meme. It's a perfect, we did it. No more memes.
No notes. No notes. We have no notes.
No notes.
Yeah. So, yeah, I'm like, you know what? I just really relate to it. like pretty hard.
Yeah, I mean, I honestly feel like that's most of us just this year, you know, walking out, and we were there was nowhere to go shake ass, you know.
So we just watched Megan Thee Stallion do it in music videos, and we're like, wow.
In bed by 7 p.m.
while like eating my soup, I'm like, wow, she really has like great moves. I'm like, how does she do that?
You guys, do you want to know something?
Am I going to try it? No, but I'll wonder forever while eating my soup. Yeah.
One of the ways I've been exercising this week is to really try to nail the body yaddy yaddy dance.
Oh,
yes. You do good at it.
It's hard. It's harder than you think. I'll show you what I got so far.
Yes.
Also, I'm sad. So, like, hold on. No, it's not the full dance. It's just the movement, because there are people on TikTok who are just phoning it in, and I don't want to be one of those people. You know, they're especially the white people. They're not doing this part right. They're not doing this part right. And I want to make sure that I do this right. Well, I got this right. You know, like you gotta hit the shoulders.
Because you really
like it's here.
You really
have to here. It's here.
You have to isolate the top movements from the bottom movements and then join them together.
Yeah, and it's with the shoulders too. And my shoulders, I'm not even gonna try today because we're just a mess. But yeah, it's a lot of this and a lot of like this, and then you try to
wait. I want you to try it while Freddie sings it, because I've been waiting for that FK Ransom mixtape for years now.
Wait, what is the little part at the end?
Wait, hold on.
Body yaddy 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 yaddy. Body yaddy 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 yaddy.
Something like that.
Big ass
screenshot.
I don't know the name. I don't know the words.
All you need is body yaddy yaddy.
I can't believe I showed that. It's not ready, you guys. It's not ready.
Wait, Deb, do you have a TikTok?
Yeah, I do. I just
mostly poll.
I mostly post poll shit on my TikTok.
Okay, so I would like to see the dance challenge up by this weekend, hopefully by Sunday EOD.
Okay, I mean, yeah.
EOD.
You said EOD. You know how much I love email speak.
Yes.
We'll circle back to that.
We'll circle up. Yeah. We'll sync up on Thursday, see how it's going, and then
I mean this Sunday. So we'll sync up. I guess via group chat. I'll check in tomorrow and see how progress is going, and then you can let me know if it's realistic and doable for Sunday EOD.
Lord. Okay. All right. Yeah.
If you have the bandwidth.
Oh my God. You guys. Shall we transition to our next segment?
Yeah. Sure.
Right. So it's the holiday season. So we decided to do a little millionaire Santa wish list.
And this is what Santa does.
You
know, yeah. It's all Santa is all in the boobs. Yeah.
So, Fred, I want to pull your pictures up, and so you might go second.
Okay.
But Chantel, tell me what you want for Christmas. Like, this is like the concept of this new segment is if Santa were a millionaire. Right. We already know that Santa is a man of the people. Like, he's not made of money.
Yeah.
He does a lot of things like bootstraps, right? So, like, if Santa were a millionaire and you could ask him for anything, what would it be?
Yeah. One note, and then I'll answer the question. Okay. I did not know that I was supposed to submit a picture. That is my bad. Because I do think you asked for it, and I didn't send one in.
I was supposed to submit a picture, and I didn't do that. So don't worry.
I submitted pictures, and I submitted pictures for all three of my items.
You sure did. It's good.
But I mean, the thing is, I'm boring because I'm like a very pragmatic person. And so I'm like, if someone gave me $1 million, I would buy a house instantly. I'm like, that's what I would do with $1 million. I don't have like a fun answer. I'm like, give me that house, give me that property value, give me land, give me all of that. That's what I would want.
Okay.
And a house in LA. Well, I mean, Oh, I don't know. Probably like Studio City. Or just like in like the hills somewhere, just like in the mountains, just like away from people.
Mm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Something like that. I got nothing fun. That, or I'd be like, I want a farm that has enough room to rescue every animal that I ever want, which is a lot of them. Can whales fit on a farm? I don't know.
Can whales fit on a farm? Ma'am?
Just like a humpback.
Just like a tiny little one. A tiny little humpback.
Je ne sais quoi.
I love
But
that.
yeah, so that's my boring wish. I would just be like, oh, give me a house.
I mean,
a tiny little house.
I too would love that.
Tiny little house.
I would love that for Christmas.
The one thing is, Santa can't carry that down the chimney, Shanti. And I know
he can carry a check.
Wow.
If he can carry coal, he can carry my check, okay?
He can carry a check, though. I'm here for it.
That's wonderful. Yes. That was really wonderful. Thank you so much. He can carry a check.
Tell me I'm wrong.
Tell me I'm wrong. I would never. Fred, we're gonna pivot to you because I finally got your images up.
Oh, okay. Okay, so
we're starting with this thing.
Okay, so I will say I feel like my list is a little childish compared to Chantel's, but let's do it.
Okay.
First item is this chain. A chain similar to this is what I would want for Christmas. I think in an ideal world, both the chain and the pendant would be made of diamonds, adding up to about 2 carats.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then 24.
Very specific.
Yeah. That would be lovely.
Okay.
Next item. It's not happening fast enough for me, Devin. Next item.
Here we go. It's happening. It's happening. It's happening.
The demands. I love the demands.
These are things that would go here.
Okay. So the next item are a pair of sneakers that I really like. They are the Off-White Jordan 4s. The resale value at this point is $1,000.
What?
Yeah.
For a shoe?
Yeah. I don't have much more to say about this item except these are one of my favorite Jordans. And
they're gorgeous.
Very much into like cream and white these days and like neutrals. As you can see, neutrals, cream and white.
Wow.
Blanket, cream. Yeah. So I'm very much into those. I would love those. See, I want Santa the Millionaire to gift me with these. I don't know if it's necessarily practical for me to spend this much money on a pair of sneakers. It's not.
Can I pause and tell you a quick sneaker story that happened to us last weekend? I kid you not. I made Pat wake up early and take me on a walk. He had to walk his girlfriend. That's the thing. And and we were walking in our neighborhood, and on top of the trash can in someone's like trash area were a pair of like brand new Kevin Durant's in Patrick's size. And it's not like a trash can that was like inside a fence, or it was like on the street. And we were like, and then we kind of looked around and we were like, and Pat was like, these are my size. And I was like, how much are those sneakers like online? He's like, they're like $150, not $1,000, but like $150.
I mean, were they in the box?
No, they were just shoes like sitting beside the recycling bin. So we took them, and now Pat has a pair of Kevin Durant's.
I mean, these are the kind of stories that I want to repeat and tell my children. Like, that's an amazing find.
But it's also so Pat, Pat for the course.
The fact that they were his size is crazy. Like that, like what are the, does he have an average shoe size? Like what size is he?
11.5.
Okay.
That feels large. Is that for men's size?
It's on the side. I would say average men's size are like 10, 10 and a half. No?
10 and a half. Yeah.
10. Yeah. Wow.
So anyway, let's move on to your next item, which.
Okay, my last item is basically I want someone to come install a fire pit in my front patio.
And this is a really beautiful fire pit, not just any kind of fire pit.
Yeah, like a really beautiful fire pit set up, like with like cozy chairs and like blankets, like string lights and like a whole vibe. I'm thinking that
would be amazing.
That would probably run maybe like money wise, like I don't know, maybe not that much money. I don't think it's actually that much money. I think it's probably like $1,000, $2,000 maybe.
For that kind of fire pit?
Yeah, a couple K.
Couple K. Yeah, I think so. But it's just not money I'm willing to spend, so I need a millionaire to do it.
Yeah, you need Santa. You need a millionaire Santa.
Yeah.
This is so beautiful. I want this for you.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll just put that like as a little aside on the deed that Santa hands me.
Yes.
It needs to have a fire pit. And it needs to look like this. Simple demands. I'm like, just one.
You're a simple gal.
Yeah.
Simple gal. Just buy me $1 million house.
Please.
I mean, please. I'm easy. I'm low maintenance.
Low maintenance. It's fine.
Ooh, I don't know. I don't have pictures for mine because I, didn't do that. I didn't do my own homework, which is a thing. I think if I were to choose what I would want, I would want I need an iPad, which is something that like isn't like millionaires. Like I could buy myself an iPad, but I just haven't.
Yeah. I feel like iPads are one of those things where it's like they're perfect for like being gifted to me. Like it's one of those things where it's like I don't know if I really want to go buy an iPad, but if it was a gift, I would love it.
Right.
I was not expecting you to say it's a perfect thing to be given to me.
It is.
I thought you were because it's like what everyone says about iPads. It's like, oh yeah, it's one of those things that if you don't realize that you need it, but then when you actually have one, you use it a lot. I thought that's what you were gonna say, not it's a perfect item to be given to me.
Exactly.
Like if you guys need gift ideas, iPad.
Yeah. So I think I want an iPad, and then this one's actually more expensive. I want an electrical bike. Like one of those bicycles that like you can like kick in some electricity to help you zip up hills.
Like with the wide, wide tires.
Yeah. Because I just got a bike. Well, I've had this bike. It was like $50 from BuzzFeed Marketplace, and then I just like tricked it out because it was like rusty and crusty from sitting in my yard for 2 years. And so I just revamped it. And by I mean Patrick's brother just did. Yeah. He did that for me because he was looking for a project and I was like, well, buddy, I got one for you. And I love it. And I've been biking around. But then when I get to a hill, it's just like, no, like, Freddie, I'm sure you feel me. You're like,
yes, I do.
It sucks.
Yeah, Freddie's a cyclist.
Once it gets to hill, it's definitely a feat. So yeah, take that away and you have a perfect bike.
Yeah. I want the electrical bike. And then I think Santa, I would love a dog, but that dog's not practical right now.
Yeah.
Still not practical for us to have a dog.
Yeah.
And a dog? Really?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I want a dachshund.
She does.
Speaking of Chantel.
I know. I told Freddie, yes, I'm supposed to be finding Freddie a dog right now. Because I find everyone their animal. I placed like 5 animals already.
Freddie is delegating.
I am. I'm fine with taking our time, Chantel. Like, I'm not, I want to make sure we find the perfect little doxy for me, so.
Right. Yeah. Because there were a couple that I sent your way from like a rescue, and you inquired, I think on one of them. Yeah. Yes. So.
Mm-hmm. Look at us. Mm-hmm. All right, Elle. We're transitioning.
Sorry, I was making Joe Biden the president. Okay.
So much less important than my doxy. Don't get it.
Forgive me, fraud.
I don't know if you guys saw as we transitioned while you guys were yelling at each other to Feelings Corner.
Feelings Corner.
Feelings Corner.
Mm-hmm.
You all know Feelings Corner. Yeah. They know Feelings Corner. Feelings Corner is basically just where we talk about what's been how the type of week that we've had leading up to this show. It can be a grab bag, it can be a mixed bag. There's times where some of us have good weeks, times where some of us have not so good weeks, and times where it's a mix of all of it. Fred, do you wanna go?
Sure. Ooh, so we have 2 weeks of feelings to catch up on.
Oh, right.
Yeah, so I just had not a great last month and a half. My mental, really, honestly, since before the election, leading up to the election, up until now, has just been very draining for me, as I'm sure it has been for many others. But I will say this week has been good overall. It really flew by. I'm almost like, what happened this week? I don't. It gets hazy. It gets hazy, But I will say, I've decided to actually take a little bit of time off from being pitched for stuff or doing auditions or any of those things. I'm taking about a month. I decided this week that I'm going to take about a month off of doing that, just so I can completely let my mind be free and wander without being I should be doing this work or I should be doing this. I really want to give myself that time to just do me for a month and then come back fresh at the end of January. So that'll probably start right before Christmas. So that was a big decision for me to make. It was, it's definitely needed, but I feel like we all work really hard, and when we're not working, we feel like we're failing or not, being as productive as we should. But I think that I will be more productive and in a better place after this much needed break. And I also am just have these feelings of oh my gosh, if I disappear for a month, I'm going to come back. And I'm also going to, side note, I'm also going to take some time off social media during that month as well. So I'm stressed. I'm if I take a month off, and this is just me being dramatic, I'm oh my gosh, everyone's going to forget about me. I'm not going to have any jobs. I'm going to have to move home. And I would have had to do it. I would have done that to myself for taking a month off. Now I know that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
So I talked it through with my therapist, because at first my manager was do you want to take 3 months off? I was no. No.
Do I? No, not 3. 1.
Not 3. Let's dial it back. Dial it back to 1. But no, she was very sweet. I was just talking to her about my mental state and where I was, and she was okay, well, you can't put your best foot forward or even really have direction if you don't feel good, So she was really great in that way, and just super supportive, and was well, obviously be here for when you're ready to start up again and all that stuff. So yeah, I'm gonna take my little month. I think during that month I may take that last week and go home. And then spend a couple weeks home towards the end of January, because it won't be so much travel during that time. And I just need to touch base with my family and hang out and decompress at home, and then come back ready to work. So that's where I am. That's a recent decision that I've made that I feel pretty good about.
I think that'll be so good for you. It's just time off always does the body good, and being around family and stuff, it's I'm very glad that you made the decision to do that, because I think that it's gonna not to be dramatic, but I think it's gonna change your life. Just kind of getting that just infusion, just to kind of make yourself feel human again, because it's we've just been at home for so long and just working on different things that kind of at the end of the day wind up making you feel inhuman if you're just grinding so hard and kind of just physically stuck. Of course you're going to feel mentally stuck at best,
Yeah. Thanks, Sean. Thanks, Dev.
I'm happy that you're gonna get a break. I'm jealous too. A month is a really good amount of time. But also I feel like it should be 6 weeks because like the next 2 weeks are gonna fly by and they're gonna be
Yeah.
all occupied by Christmas, you know?
That's true. And that's the thing. I'm kind of like leaving it loose. Like I'm kind of like, okay, like maybe like week 3, I'll check in and be like, how am I feeling? Am I feeling like I've had enough of a break and I'm ready to like get started with working, or do I need a little bit more time? So it's really like flexible and loose, and I'm like looking forward to just kind of feeling it out and seeing how I feel towards the end of it.
Good.
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 Yeah. No, that's good. I'm proud of you for taking that time.
Thank you. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, popcorn Dev.
How am I? Well, this week has been really tough, and I might not go into it too much because I'll probably just start crying, and I don't want to do that. Yeah, it's just been my mom is really struggling. And I'm really, really hard. I'm just so tired. Let me just talk about how it affects me and not my mom, because if I talk about my mom, I definitely will cry. And then
Yeah.
I'm not a pretty crier. You know how when Julia Roberts cries, she just gets this vein up her forehead, and she's just so pretty when she cries. You know what I'm talking about? I'm not like that.
I don't know if I've noticed the vein, but
The
now I want to.
vein.
Me either.
It's stately. It's like elegant. She like cries elegantly. I've
Wow.
always thought about her vein. you know um, that's the main reason why I don't want to cry, because it's an ugly cry. It's just not going to be good, and then it lives on the internet forever. But
I get that. That's relatable. I'm an
yeah.
ugly crier.
But yeah, it's just I'm really, really, and this is selfishly like how I feel about it, because my mom is obviously going through it, but I'm really, really tired of waking up to bad cancer news, because she has a lot of her oncology appointments at like 9 in the morning in Atlanta, and which is like 6 in the morning. So by the time I wake up, like they have like they're either onto the blood work or onto the next step or
Mhm.
whatever. And I'm getting all these texts and calls from my dad, and it's just like really tough to kind of get a day going when you're like dealing with
Yeah.
that. And it just sucks balls, truly. And I kind of just wish that part of 2020 could be over, but it's not gonna be over anytime soon for me. Um, so that's something that I'm just trying to deal with. And also, it's funny that I'm here in this mental state in December, because last November, really, when I left BuzzFeed, um, I was kind of in a similar mental state where I'm just like so burnt out.
Yeah.
Um, where when you're having those feelings of burnout, it's like good food doesn't even taste good anymore. Like even things that you used to enjoy just feel like chores and obligations. And so like I've been here before. I know those symptoms where all I want to do is just nap. And I'm on Lexapro. I'm speaking with my therapist all the time, and I just kind of have to like put my head down because my job with this Avani Gregg show ends in January, so that'll be good. And then I'm also trying to balance Devin but better. And so it's
Mhm.
just like a lot of up in the air. And I'm also hoping to get a month off, but just in January.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to keep my head down and keep going for January, because it's just a lot, you
Yeah.
know? Yeah.
Are
So
you staying in LA for Christmas?
yeah, yeah, I have to.
Mhm.
My mom can't really see anybody. And when I do go out to see her, because I'm probably going to go out in January finally, I'll probably still have to quarantine for a week and get
Right.
tested a couple times, just because she's so sensitive
Hmm.
right now. But yeah, it's just it's really difficult. Yeah, I
So when you like, how do you bounce back from like those initial calls and texts that you literally wake up to? Like, how do you sort of transition into continuing your day as like as best as possible?
that's a good question. Like it runs a spectrum. Like some days I just quit. I had like a Monday where I think we actually had a meeting this Monday. Yeah, we did. This was like 2 Mondays ago where I just didn't show up to a meeting. Sorry, we have a family next door who they have a bunch of dirt bikes, and so all the teenagers get really excited and ride the dirt bikes around the cul-de-sac. They just like yell at each other.
It's like clockwork though. It's literally the same time is it every
Oh,
day?
this is yeah, every day. This is
Yeah.
like, but I can't even be mad at this point because we're all scratching at the walls, and if they want to ride their dirt bikes around the cul-de-sac, fucking fine, whatever. Um, at this point, just go for it. But yeah, so some days I just like quit and I just, smoke a bunch of weed and sleep and cry. And some days I will like work out really hard. Like today I rode my bike
Mm-hmm.
and just started crying a lot. Some days today I experimented with a new thing where I just cried. Whenever I felt like crying, I would just
Mm-hmm.
cry as I was doing things. So, I made a video today. I didn't cry during the video, but like, and I'm setting up lights, I'm just like sobbing. And I like told my roommate and Pat, and like, just let me cry. Don't intervene. Just let me cry it out because I need to.
Yeah.
So that was the thing that I did today. And it worked. It worked pretty well. I mean, I'm here and I'm,
Yeah.
you know,
I was
it's
gonna
just
say I
with,
feel like that's a really good tactic
yeah,
if you're up for it. Yeah.
because it's like with this kind of
Yeah.
shit, it's not going away. It's not like
Mm-hmm.
with BuzzFeed, I could fix it by leaving.
Mm-hmm.
Um, But with this, it's just like my mom has cancer, like she's gonna continue to have cancer until we get the 0% scan.
Yeah.
Um, so I just gotta cry it out like a little
Yeah.
baby.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, crying honestly is just like, it's just like so healthy, honestly. It's like we're built to like cry at certain thing. It's like it's not even voluntary. So it's like, yeah, just let yourself do that. It's like the thing that's designed to like make you feel better, or at least just kind of like get stuff out, get trauma out, get whatever out. It's like crying is honestly so important. I'm glad that you gave and have been giving yourself the space for that.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I don't know about y'all, but once I start crying and like I really cry, it's hard for me to stop. So that's why I
Yeah.
kind of just try to hesitate. Or like if I do start crying, I try to like shut it down because it's oof. I am a Cancer moon. That's the problem. Capricorn exterior, Cancer moon. I feel everything. So,
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, do you think that like how long would you say like if you and I'm sure it like depends on the day and like what the issue is, but like if you just let yourself cry and you say that you can't stop, like, but how long would you consider not like can't stopping? Is it like a 10-minute cry?
probably like
Is it
15,
off and
20.
on for like
It's
an hour? Yeah.
it's like waves and like Chantel a couple weeks ago when you were dealing with grief, it's like waves. It's like sometimes like a shallow wave will come hit you and you're out for like 30 minutes, but then you pop back up. And then some days or sometimes it'll be like a 3 hour situation where it just takes you out and you have to, for
Yeah.
me, when I know that it's like that, I have to just go take a nap and wake up and try again.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's the thing. Where it's like grief is so wavy. Like it's not linear. There aren't like the stages of grief aren't linear how we like used to think that they were. It's all like very circular, and so it can kind of all the different phases can come at different times and like knock you off your feet. But it's like if you don't, it's basically like you're either going to cry it out now or you're going to cry it out at some point.
Yeah.
Like it's not like not dealing, just being like, oh, I just can't think about that now, means just like I'm not gonna think about that now, but it's gonna come back like
Yeah.
a little bit later. And so it's like, and that's what can be hard, because it's like you have to sit in those feelings, but also there's times where it's like we just have shit to do, and it's like how do you kind of like manage
Yeah.
it? So that's what's tough.
Yeah. But I'm happy to be here with you all today. It's just like I feel more shame about when I just can't show up for things because I'm a mess. And I know that that's me judging myself
Yeah.
in general, but I would rather show up and show people that I'm here and I'm present. I'm just dealing with something
Hmm.
than just not show up at all because that feels like I'm missing out on something, and and that's just my own psychology, but
Yeah. And I would say like that's normal. I think we all probably feel like, because sometimes for me, like even when I was thinking of like with this break, I was like, well, work does help keep my mind off of the shit show that is this year. So like, do I really want to not work for a month? Am I going to be like spiraling thinking about like, you know what I mean? Like not having something in particular to keep me busy. But then I'm also just like, actually, it may be better for me to refocus on something else. So like I have like goals of like what I want to do during this month off, which is like read like one or two books, like have actual, like still make loose, not necessarily schedules, but like loose plans for what I want to get done so that it's like, well, I do still have stuff to do, but it's like not in regards to like making money or, showing up on like social media with like a smile, even if I'm not happy. You know what I mean? It's like very much like for me. So I would say, and I say that to say like, there are times where you may not actually feel like, doing the live stream because you're dealing with something and it's like missing, like, I understand how you may feel like you're missing out or like, shame around it, but I promise you, like, don't. And like a lot of times, and if you do feel that way, maybe try to refocus and find something else to do during that time where you don't have to interact, with a bunch of people, because like I feel like cooking is like something that I feel like you're so good at, and I feel like it does bring you joy and like calmness. So like that could be something you could do instead. Like I feel like there are nice alternatives that you can like think about so that you're not like thinking about the shame of not showing up for something when you should be like taking the time for yourself,
yeah, yeah. Yeah, and also too, I think my nervous energy, um, I have a lot of nervous energy, but it's gotten a lot worse, and I think I'm gonna take up knitting again because it's gotten to the point where I can't even finish an episode of The Queen's Gambit, and that's a good show. I'm enjoying it, but like I just can't finish an episode, so I just feel like if I had something to knit,
Yeah.
then I'll be okay. So I'm gonna do
Yeah.
that again.
I
Just
love that.
like we're just really dissolving into the moms that we really are. Like Chantel's in bed at 7. I'm knitting.
Taught myself how to sew this year.
Wow.
Did.
Wow.
Did. I love it.
Well, thanks, Fred.
Yeah,
Thanks,
we're basically
Chantel.
just picking up like hobbies.
Yeah. Literally.
Because that's the thing. It's like we kind of like lost space for like having hobbies. And it's like, well, what do I do if I'm not worrying about everything? It's like, oh, you do stuff that makes you happy. That's a hobby. It's like you sew, you knit, you cook, you ride your bike, you like go on nature walks, like you discover new parts of the city that you like haven't been to yet or haven't been to for a while, and it's like, and the nice thing with knitting that also I really like with sewing, it's like it's so fun to at the end of the day hold like, oh my god, like I made this thing, like I made this thing out of nothing, or like like when you're cooking, you're like, oh my god, these ingredients were just like nothing. It was just flour sitting there, and now it's like this whole chicken or whatever, and so it's like just kind of like getting endorphins from like that sort of like hobby work rather than of like, oh my god, I did this and I did this and I did this and I don't have time for a lot. Take your baths. You love your baths.
I love
Make
my
bath bombs.
Yep.
Yeah.
I love my baths. Ooh, yeah. Yeah. I'm actually doing a video in a couple weeks where it's like I just try to stop people pleasing for my birthday because my birthday's coming up.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
It's gonna be hard because I tried to do it for a morning the other day because especially with being online, Fred, you touched on this where it's just like you wake up and you're thinking about what you can do to like please everyone, get likes, have engagement, blah blah blah, and that's still catering to other people. So yeah, Anyway, that's enough about me. I'm tired of talking about me. Chantel, you go. How are you feeling, girl?
I'm feeling pretty good. I'm still just kind of like trying to stay on that sort of like post-election high, and that post-election just kind of like accomplishments and like letting myself feel like good about that. But I mean, this week it was cool because it's like basically just kind of like giving myself space is like, oh, my sort of like creative inspiration is like coming back. And so it's starting to feel less like work, whereas before it'd be like, oh my God, like what's this thing that I should shoot, or like what's a script I could write, what's this, what's that, but it's like, oh, we're all inherently creative people. It's like what we've done with our lives, and when we just actually have the space for ourselves to be ourselves, then it all starts happening, and so it's like, so that's what I wrote 2 short films this week.
Oh,
yeah.
So good.
Yeah, so I want to shoot them like early next year and stuff, but it's like that's the type of thing where it's like it was just like, okay, I know that I like need to shoot a short, like what can it be? And then, coming up with stories and just like, okay, let me like write this thing. And then I'm like, okay, this is like an actual script that I'm like really excited about and that I can shoot, but it's like, I couldn't think of that stuff while feeling like burnt out, or while trying to be on the campaign, or while trying to, like do all these different little things. It's like, you really just need that space. Like even Fred, I'm sure after you take your break, you'll probably come out of it just like with ideas, like ideas that's not even, it's not like, okay, so I want to come out of this with like an idea for this. It's like, it just kind of when you give yourself space to return to who you are, then that person starts coming out.
Yeah. Wow. Deep.
That's poetic. Yeah.
So deep.
Wow, she's creative. She's really
but
creative.
It's true.
Yeah.
But it's true, because it's like we get caught up in of like, okay, what's the stuff that like I should be doing? What's this, like what's my next career move? And all that stuff is very important. And it's something that like, yeah, of course you have to like keep your foot on the gas at least somewhat, but it's like it just, it's easy to kind of get caught up in like the rat race of things. And so then it like actually inhibits who you really are.
Yeah. So true. Wow. Dropping gems.
I feel like we're on the spectrum right now. Like, cause like Chantel's at one end of the development. She's had some time. We're seeing like what's going on.
Yeah.
Freddie, you're on your way. And I'm close behind.
Yeah. But we're all.
Yeah, because it's like after the election, which is like pretty much like a month now, it's like I've just kind of like already been taking that time, and then now it's like at the end of it, I'm like, oh, here's 2 scripts, I guess, and so, but so it's like, that's why I'm so excited for you to take that month off, and Dev, I'm so excited for you also, because it's like we just need that, creative work takes time and it takes space, because creatives just feel shit.
Yeah.
Like we just feel everything.
So many feelings. Yeah. I don't know about you guys. I've cried, and like going back to crying, like I've cried, I feel like it's almost like every other day for the past month. I've probably cried. And it's like, I guess helpful. You know what I mean? Like, I guess I'm like thinking back on it, I'm like, oh my God, I've like been a mess. But it really is one of those things where it's like, I feel like, I don't know, without the pandemic and like when we were all going into the office every day, 9 to 6, and like had this whole schedule and like regimen and like all these things, like, it doesn't really leave you time and space to feel. And I think in general too, it's helpful. Like obviously this year sucks and everything that's going on is awful, but it does help knowing that we're all kind of feeling similarly. So I think it gives us permission to cry more. It gives us permission to like feel a little bit more, and like we're not so alone. So yeah, that's kind of how I look at it.
Yeah.
Oh, hell yeah. I cry all the time. I love crying.
Love to cry. Love to cry.
I just do. It's just like, oh, I don't bottle up my feelings. I'm like, I want to cry. Okay, like I'll cry. And, like, and it doesn't always mean that it's like, oh, I've been crying so much, like I'm at rock bottom. It's just like, no, the world is crazy. Like there's stuff to cry about. I feel stuff, and so that feeling is crying about it, or that feeling is laughing about it, or that feeling is whatever about it.
Yeah. Oh, well, thanks,
Guys,
ladies.
thank you. This was good.
Yeah,
this was.
Do we want to we have a I mean, we are running behind.
We're running.
Yeah, we're already at like
the week.
I want to transition these emotions to being a horny on Maine.
Yes.
Horny what we do the best. That's
horny on Maine.
Recycle this sadness into horniness.
Yes.
See, feeling horny, we're just gonna feel it.
We're just gonna feel it.
Whatever it is, we're gonna feel. We're giving ourselves permission. We're gonna feel it.
That's right. So who's introducing this? I feel like I've been trampling on everyone's introduction.
I think it's.
Oh, I think it is me.
Fred?
Me, yeah.
I think it's Fred. Yeah.
Okay, so the next segment is one of our faves. We're keeping it light. We're keeping it spicy. It's going to be Heat of the Week. And for anyone who's unfamiliar with the segment, Heat of the Week pretty much means that we each bring someone who is hot. Not IRL. We submit photos of people that we think are hot.
Mike Rose is in the chat. He said horny on Maine. He's here for it. Of course he's here for it. We love him for that.
Oh, I'm so excited. Okay, well, you guys, I'm so excited to share my Heat of the Week because my Heat of the Week also awakened a realization in me. Okay?
We love it and love it.
Okay. It's love a realization.
One. It's a weird one. I'm not gonna lie, but what would you expect? Okay. So my Heat of the Week, because I just started watching the show, is it's gonna take a second. But it's a famous show on Disney Plus. And do you guys see it yet?
No.
Okay, I'm just gonna keep ramping and vamping.
Yeah.
Do the build up.
This person is a stoic type and fighter, which I'm into.
Yes, I see it.
It's the Mandalorian. And here's the thing. Okay, here's the thing. I realized because I was like, damn, I'm really into this show. Like Star Wars is fine. But like, I'm really into the show. What is it about the show? And then I realized like,
it's Baby Yoda.
It's Baby Yoda. That's not fair. Baby Yoda sucks because like, I don't feel that way. I don't feel the way I feel about Baby Yoda about any other babies. And I have a strong maternal instinct. Baby Yoda tears my uterus to shreds every episode.
Yeah. Baby Yoda is incredible. He's so cute. He's so like, how can anything be that cute? I don't get it. He does it.
He's so cute, and it's the eyes, it's the ears. And then when it comes to the Mandalorian himself, I realized my sexual awakening as a young girl happened in Gerard Butler's version of Phantom of the Opera. And I think I may have a thing for masks. For like the hidden I also my favorite movie.
Masks are sexy.
My favorite movie, guess what? Is V for Vendetta.
You know, it's all coming together. It's all making sense.
I don't know what it is, y'all. These masks. Obviously, the actor himself, right? He is Pedro Pascal. He's really great. He's in like Lord of the Rings, Game of Thrones. He's super hot. Really love his work. He does. I mean, also working with a mask as an actor is really hard because you have to be able to still emote, especially with that chunky mask. It's like a lot to like make sure that the audience can see, I don't know, your feelings. But something about Mandalorian and Pedro Pascal, maybe it's the mask. I don't know. It's just, it's opening up a whole new world for me.
It does it for you. Mm-hmm. It does it for your loins, and I'm here for it.
The mask.
For your loins. Can you start a hashtag that's just hashtag for your loins? And it's just like hot person, hashtag for your loins.
Yeah.
Let's do
it. All right. So
who's next? Is it Chantel?
No, it's you.
Oh, it's me. Chantel, did you submit one?
I didn't submit. I thought it was just one person. I didn't realize that it was everyone.
Yeah, I could have communicated that better.
Well, I just didn't have one.
I feel like Chantel is confused about Heat of the Week every week.
I am. Well, because you guys started it while I was gone, and it's a great segment, but I still don't fully understand it. It's like And because like last time I was running the stream and you're like, we're gonna do heat of the week, and I was like, okay, can someone like tell me what heat of the week is? And I got a different answer from every person, and so I was like, I was like, is it just a hot person?
Yeah.
And then I was like, because I understand that. And then Jen was like, well, it could be like a hot like meme or like a hot tweet or something. So I was like, I don't understand.
That's weird.
It was
never a hot meme or hot tweet.
Never a hot meme or tweet. I think
Jen.
Okay, that's why I was confused. I was like, if it's just a hot person, I'm in. I get it. You know, it's a lot of what we do.
Right.
Jen, I'm outing her. I'm like, Jen fucked it up for me.
Jen.
I blame Jen. You know.
yeah, it's just a photo.
Okay.
All right. Fred, yours
Got
is
it.
Okay, so my heat of the week, this person is an actor on Grownish, if anyone has ever seen that show. He's also a model and he's like in the fashion world. I feel like he's definitely like a socialite kind of dude. But his name is Luca Sabat. I'm probably butchering his last name, but his name is Luca. And he did like an editorial. He did like an editorial shoot, like a small one with like a photographer. And and that was this week. And these photos were from that shoot. And I was like, oh my gosh, like, well, first, my friend Jasmine, you guys know Jasmine.
Yeah.
She sent these photos in the group chat. And I was like, wow. I mean, he's always been very handsome, but I was like, oh, wow. Okay. He's giving me fashion. He's giving me Lenny Kravitz. He's giving me rock.
Yes.
He's giving me I don't give a fuck. But he's giving me beautiful through it all. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he's giving us gender is not a or gender is a construct. Gender is these are binaries. We don't need to conform to. You know, I love this.
Yeah.
I'm very here for this. Flowers. If there's any men out there listening to this, there's maybe two. We know Mike is one of them. If there's any mans listening, take pictures with flowers. The ladies will love it.
Yeah. It up.
Monica in the chat said, is he legal heat of the week? Because I'm 31.
Yes, he is.
Oh, yes,
Asking
Monica.
the appropriate questions. We love it.
That need answered. So he is my heat of the week. What a cutie.
Okay. Yeah, that's great.
All right.
And I guess
that's our show, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you,
since Chantel didn't understand heat of the week.
It's okay. Now you know.
Now you know.
Now I know.
Tell us next time who your heat of the week is.
When you know better, you do better. I get it.
Thank you guys so much for joining us, our little trio.
Yeah, this was great. Thank you,
This
everyone,
was fun.
for coming in, and we'll see you next